Good evening. Straight question. How many continents are there in the world? Obviously, the answer is seven, but in future, the answer may be eight. So there is a landmass. Of course, this 96% has been submerged in the waters. Only 4% can be seen, but that may be recognized as a new continent. So obviously, so that will become the eighth continent. Of course, as of now, we have seven. It will be seven plus one. It will be eight. But the point is that there is no official body that can recognize a particular mass as a continent. So maybe in the future, an organization may be set up. So, but that particular landmass that is called Zealandia, that is going to be the eighth continent. I'll show you the figure and I will tell you, I'll also show you some points, how come a particular area will be recognized as a continent. So those things I'll show it to you. And after that, so we'll be discussing some other points. Kindly have a look at this. Probable question this time. Look at this very carefully. Zealandia. In a paper that is published in the Geological Society of America's journal, researchers have explained that Zealandia measures 5 million square kilometers, which is about two-thirds of the neighboring Australia. And 94% of that area is underwater, with only a few islands and three major land masses sticking out above the surface. So New Zealand's North and South Islands and the New Caledonia. So meaning is simple, 94% is under the waters and rest of this, so that can be seen, that is visible. But how do you identify? What is the criteria so to recognize or to identify a particular area as a continent? Look at these points. The criteria. So this is the landmass, please. So this is the Zealandia. I'll show this once again. But the criteria is important for me for the examination point of view. Please look at the points very carefully. Number one, elevation above the surrounding area. Number one, and you can compare the existing continents with this. Distinctive geology, a well-defined area, a crust thicker than regular ocean floors. So these are the criteria with which we can identify a particular area as a continent. Look at all the points very carefully. Elevation above the surrounding area, distinctive geology, a well-defined area, and crust thicker than regular ocean floors. And this particular area has been identified now. So maybe, but one thing I want to tell you very clearly, that there is no body at the international level to recognize an area as a continent, right? Just now I told you, maybe in future, so a new organization may be coming up, but otherwise have a look at this. So this is the picture. Now I'm going further. Look at this, that a continent can be so submerged yet unfragmented, makes it useful for exploring the cohesion and breakup of the continental crust. Look at this. Last point on the screen. Please have a look at this. There is, in fact, no scientific body that formally recognizes continents. Tomorrow in the examination, there may be a question: which of the following is a scientific body? Which of the following is an official body that formally recognizes continents? A, B, C, D will be given, and D will be the answer. And there is no such agency to recognize an area as a continent. Am I clear? And I want you to remember the name of this. That is a Zealandia. So when it comes to this Tamil Nadu crisis, democracy has been insulted, democracy has been shamed. What happened on the day of vote of confidence? We have already seen. You might have watched in the news also. So there was a complete ruckus, and we don't know the reason why the DMK has created the ruckus. Probably they wanted the disturbance should take place and no voting will take place, and that will lead to the president's rule in Tamil Nadu, and over a period of time the assembly will be dissolved and the elections will be conducted. Maybe DMK wanted to gain out of that, but otherwise what happened? So all the political parties that are present in this Tamil Nadu assembly, especially AIADMK and DMK, so both the parties have shamed the democracy, and it is a great insult to the people of India and especially so to the people of Tamil Nadu. So with lots of hopes, right? So the people of Tamil Nadu so voted in the elections. Unfortunately, after the sad demise of Miss Jayalalitha, unfortunate things have been taken place, and ultimately, this Mr. Palaniswamy, so he became the chief minister. And how long that government will continue, we need to wait, because today a petition has been filed in Madras High Court requesting Madras High Court to look into what exactly happened so in the assembly, and that petition has been accepted by Madras High Court, and tomorrow so that is going to come up for the hearing. So we need to wait and watch. Meaning is simple: judiciary has interfered into this, and on the other side so many petitions are being filed with the in charge governor Mr. Vidyasagar Rao, so to take some action. And the political parties, some political parties are demanding that the house has to be dissolved. Clear. And some political parties are demanding that you need to go for the floor test once again, right? On the other side, Mr. Pannir Selvam also demanded, right, so requested the governor to give him one more chance to prove the majority, right? So meaning, so these are the people, so the so-called the politicians, so they're playing and they are mocking the democracy, and it is really very very unfortunate, and the things are expected to be settled very very soon, because the high court has interfered. But this is not what is expected by the people of Tamil Nadu or by the people of the nation, right? So instead of all these dramas and all these things, a stable government must be established at the earliest. Otherwise, here already a domination has been started by Mr. Dinakaran, right? So instead of this Palaniswamy going first and praying at the this Jayalalitha's memorial, so it was Dinakaran who expressed, who was given a chance to pray first. So but otherwise what will happen? It should be the governor who should be given the highest priority, not somebody else. So this is how so the democracy will be mocked, and rules on all the rules and procedures are completely ignored. So this is very very unfortunate. Now, so now let me open the document and kindly see here, especially for those people who are writing the civil service examination, whatever the developments that are happening in Tamil Nadu are very very important for the purpose of this looking into the role of the governor again, and whether the judicial review is permitted, right? So to what extent the judiciary may go in this particular case, what could have been the role of the speaker at this time. Clear. And this particular incident, whatever happened in Tamil Nadu assembly, may be a case study for you so tomorrow in the examination. Clear. And kindly think about this, the total situation what happened in Tamil Nadu, and think that if you are a governor, what could you have done? Had you been the speaker of Tamil Nadu assembly, what you could have done there? Clear. And being the responsible leader of any political party, how you could have behaved, right? Just ponder over this, and then you will be very clearly understanding the mistakes or the wrongs, things that were done by the various political parties, especially DMK and AIADMK in Tamil Nadu assembly, right? Next. Once again, I am opening the document. Look at this. Article 51A. Have a look at this. So whenever I say Article 51A, I am talking about fundamental duties. First point, because fundamental duties is there in the news now. So why, I'll tell you. Because the fundamental duties is there in the news, there may be a possible question in the examination for you tomorrow, that through which amendment fundamental duties have been added to the constitution. Kindly remember, fundamental duties were not mentioned in the original constitution. Not mentioned in the original constitution. They were added through 42nd Amendment Act of 1942. At the time, this Srimati Indira Gandhi, Srimati Indira Gandhi was the, this Prime Minister. 42nd Amendment of 1976. Am I clear? Kindly remember both the things. What was the year and what was the amendment number? I repeat, it is the 42nd Amendment Act of 1976, through which fundamental duties have been added to the constitution. And kindly remember, today we have 11 fundamental duties in the constitution. But when fundamental duties were added through 42nd Amendment in the year 1976, please remember this one. At the time, 10 fundamental duties were added. Am I clear? So these are certain things with respect to the fundamental duties. Now, and of course, a new part called Part 4A has been added to the Constitution through 42nd Amendment, and a new article called 51A has been added. As we all know, starting from Article 36 up to Article 51, it will be falling under Part 4 of the Constitution. Part 4 of the Constitution, and that mentions about the directive principles of a state policy. And immediately after that, we have added Part 4A, that is the this number of the schedule. Sorry, this is the number of the part. Part 4A has been added, and an article called 51A has been added. And in that one, 10 fundamental duties have been inserted. Later, over a period of time, through 86th Amendment Act, one more fundamental duty has been added, and as of now, 11 fundamental duties are mentioned in the Constitution. Am I clear? And one of the fundamental duties, so now it came up for the discussion. So that is with respect to the national anthem, national flag. All right, these are the two things. And apart from this one, some people have submitted a petition. They have filed a petition to the Supreme Court, requesting the Supreme Court to give the directions to the various agencies in India, where the guidelines must be issued on how to respect national anthem, national flag, and national song. But the court made it very, very clear. These fundamental duties are mentioning about the national anthem and the national flag, but not about the national song. Right? So regarding that, I have some information. I'll show you that information. Kindly have a look at this. Look at this. Article 51A, fundamental duties. It shall be the duty of every citizen of India. 51A, clause A, to abide by the Constitution and respect its ideals and institutions, the national flag and the national anthem. Am I clear? Kindly look at these two. National flag and the national anthem have been mentioned in the Article 51A, clause A. Look at this. This particular article, it deals only with the national anthem and a national flag, and not the national song. Right? Look at this. Regarding the prayer seeking a direction to ascertain the feasibility of singing or playing the national anthem and the national song in Parliament or a state assembly, public offices, courts, and schools on every working day, the Apex Court made it very clear it would keep alive the prayers regarding schools only. What is the meaning? Very recently, the Supreme Court has given an order that in all cinema halls, before you screen the movie, So you have to play national anthem, and you have to this picturize what is called this national flag. So national flag has to be there on the screen, and the national anthem has to be, it's a plate. So later, some people have started demanding that similar type of guidelines must also be issued with respect to national song, that is Vande Mataram. All right. And the petition is requesting so to give such type of directions to play this. So in the parliament, assemblies, every public office, schools, etc. But the court made it very, very clear that will look only into the issues that are related to the schools, but not with respect to various offices. That's the reason why this particular Article 51A is very much there in the news. All right. And kindly remember, whenever something is there in the news, that may be a possible question in our examination. Look at this. Okay. Next. So another wonderful thing, that is the Shanghai technique, but how far it can be applied in India and how far it will be successful in India. So right, so that we need to think. What exactly is this Shanghai technique? So this is one of the techniques that is being followed in China. And according to this technique, in a classroom, the maximum strength is 16. In a classroom, the maximum strength should be 16. And the teacher has to play a very, very crucial role with respect to functioning within the classrooms. Now, so you will take up a chapter and you will explain the chapter to the students. So when it comes to the students, the acumen, the IQ levels will vary from one student to the other student. A student may be learning very fast, and a student may be learning at a moderate pace, and a student may be learning very, very slow. But what is happening in general curriculum, the moment one chapter is over, the teacher jumps to the next chapters, whether everybody has understood or not. And look at our classrooms, a larger number of people will be there, right? Larger number of students will be there. But here in this particular Shanghai technique, the strength with respect to a classroom has been restricted to 16. Example, 16. The Shanghai technique. So once a particular chapter is over, teacher will be going to the next chapter only when that the first chapter is completely understood by all the students. So that you're trying to make every student on par with the others. So this is really a wonderful thing. But the point is that it may be successful in China, but in India also for quite some time. So there is a discussion that why can't we introduce the same technique in India also, right? So now I'm just leaving it to you. You please think on your own whether it can be applied, whether it can be introduced in India. If introduced, whether it will suit the Indian system or not. So just think it on your own, right? So whenever you are thinking, think from various angles, right? So think from the angle of the background. Clear? Think from the angle of the social background, economic background, the cultural background, right? So from various angles you think and try to come to a logical conclusion. Clear? Now, have a look at this. Right. A new math teaching method, Shanghai technique, is a new buzzword in the arithmetic classrooms across the world, with the discussions raging over how to adopt a model locally. In this method, a teacher breaks down the concepts and goes ahead with the other chapters only after every child has grasped the idea. Otherwise, you cannot go forward. Otherwise, here, mathematics is one of the wonderful things that majority of the students, they feel, little bit inconvenience with this particular subject. But otherwise, what happens is that if the teacher is fine and the teacher makes the concepts very simple, that is really a wonderful subject, right? It is not just this. In this Shanghai technique, uh, there is a demand that teacher has to be given 5 to 6 years of training, Teacher itself has to take 5 to 6 years of training. Then that teacher will be, this eligible for implementing the Shanghai techniques. Next, look at this. Which of the following ministries is implementing AMRUT? Okay, if something is missing here, let me type it. Which of the following ministries implementing AMRUT? So one of the wonderful schemes, it stands for Atal Mission for Rejuvenation and Urban Transformations. Kindly remember, the question is that which is the ministry that is implementing AMRUT scheme? What is AMRUT? That is there on your screen. Please read once. So this is being implemented by Ministry of Social Welfare, Ministry of Urban Development, Ministry of Finance, or Niti Aayog. Answer is option B, that is Ministry of Urban Development. Please remember this. Look at the question, look at the answer. So these type of questions are being asked in the examinations. Okay, now this. So this particular program is aimed at ensuring water supply, sewerage networks, drainage, and urban transport for urban transformation. Okay, so I'll remember this. Just a moment, I have one more question. I'll show that to you. So the following statements is or true regarding PMUY, Pradhan Mantri. Just a moment. This is PRA. Yeah. Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana. Look at this. That was launched in the year 2016. One possible question, simple question is that this is one of the wonderful programs, that is basically meant for, giving better benefits to the women in the form of providing the LPG gas connection. And this is not for all the people, but only those women who are below poverty line. Look at this. And the scheme is PMUY. It stands for Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana. And one thing is that in which year it has been launched? Answer is 2016. So now, so please read ABCD, right? ABCD and find out. If you look at the, choose the correct answer, 1, 2, 3, 4 options. So minimum 3 should be right. Minimum 3 should be right, right? Otherwise, all 4 may be right. So now just try to find it out. It aims at providing 5 crore LPG connections to the women from families below poverty line. Please remember, this is one of the objectives of PMUY scheme, please. Right? And it is aiming at 5 crore, providing 5 crore LPG connections to the women from the families BPL, below poverty line. Option A is right. Okay. Now, B, the target for the year 2016 and 17 was 1.5 crore connection, and that was met in December 2016. And target for that particular year was providing 1.5 crore connections. Is that clear? And that target was met in the month of December 2016. That statement is also right. At present, the LPG coverage is of 70% in India. This is with respect to the statistical information of December 2016, just 2 months back. Clear? It's less than 2 months back, in fact. So 70% of this coverage has been done, and option C is also right. 5 crore LPG connections, right, in the coming years. That's right. And for the first year 2016-17, 1.5 crore target was met. That is also right. And right now we have more than 70% of this coverage by December 2016. That is also right. If you come to this D, Madhya Pradesh is the state with the highest number of LPG connections. D. It's not Madhya Pradesh, it is Uttar Pradesh. So obviously option D is wrong. A, B, C are right. Obviously I can go for the answer, that is option 1, A, B, C. Please look at the question once again. Am I clear? That's it. So these are the connections that have been provided. UP is the highest, followed by West Bengal and Bihar, Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan. Right? So before you go to bed, try to recollect all the points, whatever you have learnt. Okay, that is one way of this revising the things. And the more you revise, the more and the more will be the capacity of your memory. Clear? So there is nothing like any special practice memory techniques on that one. So keep on revising the things from time to time. So the more you revise, more you will be able to remember. And that itself, clear, it is not just listening, it is not just reading, and you are expected to revise the subject very, very frequently. So that itself is going to give you the service. Right? And I'll stop at this stage. Thank you so much for being with me this evening, and take very good care of yourself. Good night.